Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Postman series. So today in this video, we are continue to see the how to write the test cases, how to write the assertions in the Postman. Okay. So in our previous video, we have just gone through how to write some basic validations like checking the status codes and checking the response object is coming in the particular data type, right? So and how to parse the JSON, right? So this kind of what is the maximum, I mean, what is the response time it is taken? So what are the status code and status message, and what is coming in the request body, request header type and header values. So these are the basic tests. Okay. So now the main thing is, so I'm sending them some request here. Okay, I'm going to create one record by the name of Saravanan, right? And I have to validate whatever the request that I have sent, the same it is coming in the response that is getting stored in our server or not. Correct. So now I mean we have validated, okay, the name is coming in the string for data type, and the mobile is coming in the number, and the skills are coming in the array, right? So these kind of validations we have done. Okay, now we are going to validate what is coming in the name value. Okay, we are going to check that the name is coming as a Saravanan. Okay, and the mobile number is coming as this value or not. So this is what the main validation, right? So when you use your valid credential to log in, so by using your username password, so it has to come as an authentication as a true, correct? So another way, like when you go for a get method to retrieve some employee details. So for example, if you are sending as a 123, so the 123 is ID is mapped to the name of Saravanan, correct? So you have to get the respective results. Okay, that is what my validation. So now let's write how to validate this. A name is coming as a Saravanan. Okay, the values. So we are going to just check the whatever the data type, it hold the right values or not. I mean the expected value or not. Okay. So the very first one, you have to pass this JSON. Okay, so this I mean make sure it is always outside of the function, outside of the method. So if you keep this one inside the method, then you cannot access this variable outside of this method. So for example, I'm copying this. Okay, I'm doing the cut and I'm pasting it here. Okay, so now this is parser JSON parser is inside this function. Okay, so now if I try to write one more test, okay, I'm just writing as a sample. Okay. So here I'm just trying to print out console log and ABC. Okay. So now this ABC cannot be accessed because this ABC is written inside this function. Okay. So let me confirm it is not outside of anywhere. Okay. So now let's go to console. So let me clear everything. Now let me send this request. You can see the ABC is coming as a not defined. So which means this ABC, I mean, we have defined in this particular function, right? So which cannot be accessed outside of this function. So make sure always this JSON parser line is outside of your function. Okay, so I'm just replacing it as where it is, where it was. Okay, so I have just replaced now. So now if I do this, okay, let me do this again. So now if I do this, this will work because it is more like a class level variable. Okay, you can see now everything is getting better. Okay. So make sure this JSON parser you are giving outside of the function. So if you are giving inside the function, then it will work only for the particular function. Okay, if you want to align the code, if the code is not aligned properly, just Control B. Okay, click on Control B, that will align the code by automatically in the Postman editor. Okay, so now let's go and check the values. Okay, so first, I mean, if you want to see how to read the JSON path, right? So similarly, how we write in the X path in the Selenium, right? Similarly, we have to write a JSON path. So this entire object from line number 1 to 21, it is going and storing in the value of ABC because this is we are reading. Okay, so we are reading the response and storing as a JSON format. Okay, that is what this line will do. So now this entire line number from 1 to 21 will be stored in the variable called ABC. Okay, so now initial days, like you can use this JSON Pathfinder. Okay, this is a one website where, I mean, there are multiple websites are available. So this is a JSONpathfinder.com. You can go and you can copy paste your JSON and just click on the beautify. It will beautify like this. So now if you want to read this name, right side, you can see the path will be generated. So if you just click on the name, you can see it is coming as a x.name. Okay, so here the x is our ABC. Okay, ABC is our x here. Okay, So why it is coming as a X in the sense the complete JSON object they are considering as a X. Okay. So now in our case, it is ABC. So let me do the console.log abc.name. Okay. So now let's see it is getting printed in the console RR. You can see the name is getting printed in the console. Okay. So now we can go for a validation. So what is the validation statement? pm.expect with this child library that is Postman is being used. So pm dot, okay, already we have read the response, right? So abc dot name to equal. Okay, we are going to check the exact value it is coming as Saravanan or not. Okay, so I'm just typing as Saravanan. And this one, let me change the name as checking the values. Okay, so now let's go to the test results. Just run this. You can see this is also getting passed. Okay, so now if you want to read the, I mean, it is similar, like a name, job, and all. It is in the directly. It is in the ABC object. Okay, so now I want to check the Selenium value is coming in the skills or not. So in that case, what you have to do, let's do the console again to confirm you are able to read the Selenium value successfully or not. So it is inside the abc.skills, correct? So now let's go to the JSON path finder to refer this case. So it is in under the skills. I want to read the Selenium. Okay. Now if you look at this path, the skills are in the array. Okay. So that's the reason it is coming as a 1. So array will start from 0. This API is the 0th element, and Selenium is my one of the element. Okay, the first element. Okay, let's go to the Postman now. So here you have to send like this. Okay, skill of 1. So now the Selenium will be printed in the console. Let's check. You can see the Selenium is printed. So we are able to read the value. So now what we can do, we can go for assertion. I mean, the console is to double check we are able to read the right value at the right place. Okay, that's it. So skills of 1, it should be equal to, I mean, dot equal Selenium. Okay, this is it's a case sensitive. So if you are giving us a capital S, it will not work because it is more like a deep equal. Okay, we are exactly checking what is coming in the console. You can see it is getting failure. So you have to make sure the values are matched. Okay, it is a case sensitive. Okay, so this is how we'll validate. So now, for example, I want to validate the country is coming as India or not. Okay, so in this case, so let's do the console log again. ABC. Okay, so ABC is nothing, our entire response, right? So from line number 1 to 21 is the ABC. So this country is coming under the address object. Okay, so now let's type address dot. Okay, so in the address only, if you just minimize this one, you can see the country is inside this address. Okay, so address dot country. Okay, in the country, it is in the array bracket, which is a country is in array. Okay, so this is a path abc.address.country. So now let's go to the JSON path to confirm this. So just address under the country. If you want to get the India, you can see this is a path. Okay, which is our abc address.country. Okay, so now let's check in the console. Yeah, you can see the India is coming here. Okay, now I can go for a validation, which is pm.expect. Okay, so make sure if you are writing multiple assertion in the same method, I mean, same function, if any one of them failed, so it will not execute the next line. So for example, in this case, line number 65 is failed. It will not execute the 67. It will go to the next function. Okay, so that one also you have to remember. Okay, so now this is for the value, I mean, asserting the values. Okay, so this is how you have to validate. So when you get the bigger one, so for example, let's go to the collections. Okay, so now let's go for this one. Okay, so this is one of the API. So when I send this request, I'm getting the response like this. Okay, so now we can see this page and all, it is very, very straightforward. This direct object available. So now if you look at this data, right? So it is inside the data. So now I want to read how many IDs are coming. So they have given the page 1. Per page value is 6 total. They have 12 pages. So 2 pages, total pages is 2. So which means they have 12 records. They are planning to display the 6th record per page. Okay. So now you can see ID is starting from 1 to 6 here. Okay. Now I want to check how many IDs are coming here. Okay. So in that case, the very first one, what you have to do, you have to read the JSON response, which is by using the JSON parser. Okay. So this line, it is going to read our value and it will be stored in the value called ABC. Okay. So now what you can do, I can just go to the console.log. Okay. And ABC.data. Okay. I'm going to, these ID values are inside the data. Correct. So now I want to check how many data is coming, data record. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally 6 records inside the data. Now I want to check how many record coming in the inside this data in the sense like a size we use in the Java, right? So you can use it in the JavaScript, you can use it as a length. Okay. So when I use the length, so it has to print the value as 6. Okay. Now let's go to the console. So let's clear everything. You can see it is coming as a 6 now. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to print all the ID values. I want to check the ID values are coming as a 1, 2, 3 or not. So we can simply go for a for loop. Okay, so where it will start from the 0 because it's the array element. It will start from the 0 where a equal to 0. So a less than abc dot data dot length. So length is the size I'm giving here to iterate the loop. Okay. So now inside this console log, what I can do, I can simply pass abc.data of a dot id. Okay, because inside the data, I'm going to read this id. Okay, so now the a will go, it will iterate this like this. So first time it will be 0, next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And 6. So, only 5 because it's array. So it will start from the 0th element to 5th element. So now I can open the console and see these ID values are printing in the console log. You can see it is printing. So this total is coming from here. Okay, this console. After that, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everything is getting printed. So now similarly, if I want to read this email address or name, so what I have to do, so same thing, console.log abc.data of a dot name. Okay, so here it is going as a first name. So make sure you are giving the same key value here also. Okay, so first name. So now the first name will be printed for all the records. You can see the first name is George. Okay, for the ID 1, for the ID 2, it is Janet. Okay, so it is printing for across all the things. So this is how you have to write the validations for the value check. Okay, so let's go for another example where we have something like some bigger JSON. Okay, so we have some bigger JSON values. So let's go on to the validation for the bigger JSON. So this is not small. Okay, it is almost like a 54 lines of code. Correct. So let me copy some other example. So this is one of the API for the checking the red bus. Okay, so red bus, we will go for a red bus to booking the bus services, right? So let me set up the things. Okay, and this is a post method. Okay, in the query parameter, what we are sending the city from Hyderabad to Kochi to check the bus services. Okay, so when I send this, you can see it is coming almost like a 1,000 lines of response. Okay, now I want to validate. Okay, so now let's go to the red bus. So I have selected the route from sources of Hyderabad and destination is Kochi. Okay. So Hyderabad. Okay, and I'm giving some date. So let's do the search. Okay, so totally I found 2 buses. Okay, so one is Orange Tools and one is Alheim Tools, something is coming. Okay, so now the same value is coming in the Postman also. Okay, so if you look at these 2 bus names, okay, so let's go here. Okay, so it is from Hyderabad to Kochi and 2 buses were found. So if you just look for the buses name, so that bus name is coming under the INV object array. Okay, so if I expand this, here you can see the bus name. The bus name is coming as a TVS. Okay, Orange Tools. And if you go for one more bus name, So that is coming again inside this INV. Okay, so this is one more object. So if you look for this bus name, okay, this is a bus name. So totally we are getting two bus names. So let's go for a TVS here. So it's pass. Okay. So this is the first bus name, which is orange, and one more bus name is Alpine. Okay, these are the two bus services available from this particular route. Okay. Now I want to test. I mean, these two bus services are coming in the my response or not. Okay, let's go to the test tab. So here I'm going to check pm.test, check first bus name. Open the function. Okay. So now very first thing what we have to do, we have to read the JSON parser. So I mean we have to read the JSON and we have to parse it as so ABC or XYZ, anything you can use it. Okay. pm.response.json. Okay. So now my entire value will be stored under this ABC. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to check my first name, bus name is coming as so here the first bus name is what is it is coming in the screen. So it is coming as a orange tools, right? So let's go to the, yeah. So it is coming as an orange tools. I want to check, I mean, this bus name is coming in the first position on top. Okay. So for that, what we have to do, we have to copy this. Let's go for the JSON Pathfinder. So this response is coming under the INV. So INV, you can see this is a first bus. This is a first bus object and this is a second bus. Okay, so I'm going to the inside the first one. And if I look at the TVS, which is a bus name, you can see this is a path. Okay, so X is nothing, our ABC, INV zeroth object and a TVS. So we are going to retrieve this value. Okay, so now let's go to the Postman. So just write the statement pm.expect. So what is the statement that we have seen? ABC dot INV of 0 dot TVS. This is a path. Okay, so P is a capital letter. Okay, so when I do this, I'm expecting this value to equal. So what is the equivalent value? This is the equivalent value. So let me copy this value from the response and I'm giving it here. Okay, so now if I go to the test results and if I run this, you can see this is checking pass, right? So if I make some mistake, okay, for example, I'm updating like ABC additionally here. So now the test case will fail. Okay, and it will tell, okay, we are expecting, I mean, we are expecting as an ABC, okay, orange tools and the travels platinum ABC, but we are getting like this. Okay, so now I want to check the similarly second bus name also. What it is very easy, just go here and type the TVS, one more TVS bus name is, this is one more bus name. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the same line and I'm going to put it here. So instead of 0th element, I have to make it as a 1 because this is coming in my second object. Okay, so let's copy this and I just replaced here. So now if you run this, so this test solver will be passed. Okay, so this is for checking the bus names. Okay, so now I want to confirm, I mean, the bus list name is coming as expected. So for example, here it is only 2. Okay, I want to check, for example, I have 10 bus names. Okay, that I want to confirm all the tests, I mean, all the 10 buses are listed in my response on. So in that case, what we can know, we can create some array like this. So bus names. Okay, so here I'm going to create the array. So inside the array, I'm going to pass all the buses I have. Okay, so the first one is orange bus. I'm going to copy and paste it here. So it supports only JavaScript Postman. So if you know JavaScript better, then you can write the better test cases, better validations. Okay. So right now, these are the 2 buses available for this particular route. I'm going to check all these 2 buses are coming in my response or not. So pm.test. Checking all buses function. Okay. So now I'm going to check this. Okay. Check in the sense. So for example, pm.expect abc.inv of 0 dot tvs to equal. So 2 equal. So what we have given here, we have taken the, we have given this value, hard-coded value, right? So now I have stored in the array. So what I can do here, so bus names of 0. Okay, I can do like this. So now let's go to the test results. So this test also will be passed. Okay, instead of 0 here, if I put as a 1, then it will take this value. Okay, alkyne value. Okay, let's run this. You can see it is coming as a failure. Okay, so we are checking for alkyne, but it is coming as an orange. Okay, so this way also you can do. Again, this is also all the time you want to come and check it. Change this array value to 1 and 3, right? So instead of doing this, what we can do now, you can run in the for loop to make sure all the buses are, the expected bus lists are listed in the response or not. So ABC dot INB length. I'm going to take the length of the bus response. So the bus responses are coming inside this INB, correct? So when you go for this, okay, control F, INB. Okay. So this is our response. So under this INB, you can see this is the first object of bus and this is the second object of the bus. Okay. I'm going to take this length. So today we have only 2 buses. Okay. So tomorrow, if you have the 10 buses, all the 10 buses, if you want to validate. So in that case, you have to use this take a length and you can iterate them. Okay. So I'm going to iterate now. Now PM dot expect ABC dot INB. So in the INB, I'm going to send the A value, which is going to be iterate. Okay. Dot TBS. Okay. To equal. So here I will just give the bus names array value. Okay, so this is also I'm going to give it as a 0. A, right? So total value here it will come as a 2 values in the length of the buses. So in this value also, my bus name also I have a 2, correct? So it is going to check one by one. The first one is coming as an orange and second one is coming as alkyne or not. Okay, so let's go to test results. Let's validate. Okay, you can see this one also passed, right? So it is taking the value. The first value will be orange. It is matching. The second one also it is matching. Okay, for example, if I update like ABC here and if I update XYZ here, now the test case will fail. Okay, so let's go to the test case. And if I run this, because the value will not match, you can see it is got failure. Okay, so now this is how we validate. Okay, our all expected bus lists are coming in the array or not. Okay, so now if you go to the test results, so we have something else also. So this is one way. Okay, so this is one way to check the values. Now I want to check bus names. We have to go for a deep equal. Okay, so deep equal in the sense, so it is similar to Java, right? So how we do the deep equal, like all the buses are coming in my expected response or not. So right now what we have done for a single iteration. Like, so we are checking for the single bus. So now I'm going to check randomly, randomly in the sense deep equal. So I have set up results, array results. I'm going to check the same results of coming in the response also. It can be like it may not be in the order, but I want to check all the values are mapped. Okay, all the values are coming. So all bus names. Okay. So I'm going to write a function again. So here, let me copy this line. So here also I'm going to check in the for loop only because I want to validate, right? So here, let's create one array. All bus names. I'm creating an array also. Okay, because whatever the value that I'm going to read now, I'm going to push it to the all buses array. So here you can use the push statement. So what is the bus name value? So here it is abc dot inv of a dot tvs. Okay, so now what happens? It will read all the bus names values and it will be pushed to the array value here. Okay, so now for example, after this for loop, if I do the console log of all buses, now you can see all bus names will be printed in the console. Let's see. Okay, I think the test is failed. Okay, cannot read the property of 0. Okay, what is the 0? ABC INV length. is also A. Let me run it up. Undefined reading of 0. Okay, so I have just corrected this for loop. There was some issue. So let's run this now. Okay, so now you can see whatever the bus values we are storing in the array, it is coming. Okay, the bus, the first bus name is orange, the second one is algae. So now we are able to store this value. Okay, so all the bus value will be stored in this particular array. Okay, buses are stored here. Okay. So now what I can do, I can go for my expected value. Okay, so now in the expected in the sense, so pm.expect. So Postman support load as. Load as also it's one of the library that is available in the JavaScript. So you can use them. So I'm going to directly check this equal option. Okay, which is similar to the D picture. So what value I have to check here? So I want to check the bus names. Okay, so the bus names is already we have defined here. Okay, so these are the bus name is coming in my response as well. So bus names, comma, all bus names. Okay, so it has to be a true, right? So both array values would match. So that is what I'm going to do here. And I'm writing as a true statement. So when I run this, so if both values, so whatever I read from the response and whatever I have this values, so if both values are matches, then it will come as a pass. So these kind of validations also you can write. Okay. So now let's go to the response. So in the response, let's go to the INV. So INV is the place where we are getting the objects, right? So this is our first bus name and second bus name. So in the inside this bus detail, so you will have the what is the the starting time of the bus and the dropping time, right? And you have the boarding point also. So when you scroll down here, you can see the boarding point data, correct? So I'm going to planning. I'm planning to go by this orange tools and travels bus name. Okay, and I want to make sure my available dropping points are here or not. Okay, so for example, here you can see. So what are the dropping point that you see in the browser? Okay, so let's go here, and if you click on the dropping point, so you can see the Gandhi. Gandhi. So okay, something is coming here. Okay, so Gandhi here is the Suchitra, and you have that's Pachapalli. So a lot of dropping points are coming. So that is the same dropping points you can see in the here also. Okay. So now I'm going to write simple test. I want to confirm my expected dropping points is available in my bus or not. Okay. So for that, I'm going to write one more test. Checking dropping points. Okay. So the first one, so here we are just going to use the map. Okay. So by using the map, we can retrieve all the values and we can store it in the variable. And the variables, we can just go for the expected outcome is coming as a true or not. So I'm going to create some variable like dropping points. Okay. Dropping points dp equal to. So the dropping point, the path of the JSON is, so this is my first bus name. Okay, I'm going to check the first bus name. Okay, so this is coming under the INB. Under the INB, it is coming under the BP data. Okay, so dot BP data. Okay, BP data dot map. I'm going to use the map here because I want to store the variables. Okay, and I'm going to give it as one more variable here using the map functionality. I'm going to read the name of the dropping points. Okay, so here you can see this is a name. Okay, so it has to be in the capital letter. So this line, what it will do, it will read all the bus names and it will be stored in the variable called DP. Okay, so now if you want to check that, you can just go for a console log. In the console log, you can go for a DP. Okay, so now what happens, it will be print all the dropping points available for this particular bus. Okay, we are checking for the very first one bus. So let's do this clear and send this response. You can see, so these are the dropping points we can see on the screen also. You can see the first one is Gandhi, my Sama, my Sama, something is coming. Okay. The second one is coming as a Suchitra, and the third one is coming as a Pachupalli, and the fourth one is something is coming, and the fifth one is coming as a Paradise, and everything is coming here. You can see, right? So totally it has a 22 dropping points. Okay, 23 since it is array, it is starting from the 0. So let's go here and confirm. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22. Okay, so totally we have a 23 boarding points. So that is what coming in the response also. Okay, if you check the last one, it is coming as a something is coming. Okay, so that the same results you can see here as well. Okay, so now I want to validate my expected, or I'm planning to onboard. I mean, I'm checking for the dropping point at Paradise. Okay, boarding point. Sorry, boarding point as a Paradise. So now I want to check the Paradise is coming as a part of my dropping point. I mean, pickup point. Okay, so boarding point. Let's go to here. pm.expect. So we have stored everything in the DP. Correct. This is our dropping point. Dot. You can use the include functionalities. Includes. So our expected reason is I'm going to check this Paradise is coming. Okay, so let's copy paste here and dot to equal true. Okay, so now if the Paradise is matched, then the test case will pass. Okay, so now to go to the test results. So now let's run this. Okay, you can see this is pass. Okay, okay, this is a boarding point, not a dropping point. Okay, so this is what. So for example, now if you want to check something else, so I want to check this Ukat Pali. Okay, so let's copy paste this. Now let's go to here the test result. Let's check here. Okay, this is also passing, right? So this is how you have to write the effective validate test cases. So for JSON path, for initial days, you can use this JSON path finder, but eventually, you have to write your own JSON path for your validations. Okay, so this is how, I mean, we will validate. So this is how you have to write a path. So anything is fine. So, I mean, here you can see this is one of the biggest JSON response, right? So even you will get more than this one also. So you have, if you know how to write a JSON path, then it's very easy. Okay, and there are a lot of libraries available for the JavaScript. Like so, this one is coming from the Lodash, right? So is equal, so which is a deep equal, right? And this one we are using a map concept here. Okay, we are just retrieving all the bus name values and we are storing the variable called dp. Okay, with the dp, so now it will be stored. All our data points will be stored here. So that is what doing here. You can see this storing in the array, right? So from the array, I'm going to check this expected outcome is coming or not. Okay. And here also we have done the same thing. We have defined our bus list earlier. So the bus list are matching with our list or not. Okay. This is how you have to write the test cases. Okay. So when you write these kind of test cases, now you can go as a folder level. So let's go to the collection. So the folder level also you can write the test cases. Okay. So like how we have done for the prerequisite script, right? So you can write the test cases in the folder level also. So when you write the folder level, this is applicable across all the collection. I mean, all the requests inside that collection. So when it comes right, so you can just go for some generic validations that you can keep it in the test tab. Okay, in the collection level test tab, for example, status code, right? The status message, something like. So if you want to explicitly validate something, then you have to go for only the request level folder validations. Okay. So the request level test validations. So when it is common, you can use it in the collection. If it is a request level, then you can have it better to have it in the under the test results. I mean the test tab itself, the request test tab itself. Okay. So this is how we'll write the effective test cases in the Postman, that it will help you when you run this as a collection. So for example, I'm going to run this as a collection. Okay, so let's go here. I'm going to run this. Okay, this one, if I run this, so when you run it as a collection, so whatever the test case that you have written, everything will be displayed here. Okay, any of the test cases failed, then you can easily filter out. And if any of them skipped, also you can filter out. So these are the test cases that we have written on this particular request. Okay, when you run it to the collection level, all the tests will be displayed here. Okay, it is coming as a pass, everything is pass. Okay. So you can write the test in the collection level also. When you write it in the collection level, it can be a generic one. Okay, you cannot validate okay, the name is coming as a Saravanan or this ID is coming back. You can just go for only generic one, like a status code is coming as a 200 and the status response status is coming as a OPR created, something like that. If you want to explicitly validate the particular response, then it is better to have all the tests under the request tab. Okay. So that's all about video. I think the video is very useful and helpful. So this is how we will write the test cases effectively in the Postman. If you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to ask in the comment section. Thank you, guys.